We're on the air.
On the air. Good evening, folks. Good afternoon. How we doing?
How's everybody feeling?
Happy April. We made it.
Yeah. Listen, I just want to say, if you've watched our past videos, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much is right. We
realize
appreciate your...
Ridiculously unprofessional, and we're just kind of having some fun with it.
We're just having some fun, buddy.
Yeah, we really do appreciate it, honestly. We're going to try to hit a little bit of a longer show today. So we're going to try to go somewhere around the hour mark. First couple we did were like 10 minutes. Last one we did was almost a half hour. So we're looking to go a little longer. We figure this way you don't have to get up and change the channel so quick, or you'll get up and change it really quick, being that we really think of this. Anyway, so let's start off the day. First conversation, since we left off with the transgender subject last time, and we just had the shooting, let's talk a little bit about school safety, okay? So
it's a very sad situation. What happened? Yes, very sad.
Well, you know what it is? Everybody's talking about how we need more guards. We need more. First off, a guard honestly would not have helped in that particular situation. She would have just shot him. I mean, that's the truth.
Yeah, we can't have people sitting outside because you're a target.
You're a target. I mean, all she'd have to do is pull up in that car or stay far enough away with maybe a sight and shoot you in the head. And you never even know it. And then she's walking right into the school anyway. My main question is, why do schools put glass entrances? That's number one. Because first off, the first thing it does, it allows you to see what's happening inside and who's there.
Right.
And so that allows you
glass breaks very easily.
Right. But it allows you to make your preparation, your plan of how you're going to go and where you're going and that sort of thing.
Right.
So that right there would be the first thing I would get rid of is...
Just put metal doors.
Yeah, just...
With no glass.
Metal, concrete, anything like that.
Bulletproof.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that. So now, if you've ever been to, like, a jewelry shop where you have to be buzzed in the first door and then buzzed in the second door.
Right.
Well, if that second door, if you did this in school to where you were buzzed into the first door and then you had, like, maybe a 30-foot corridor and the next door was bulletproof and there was a camera there.
For the security to see on the other side.
Right.
They can see when that person comes in.
And really, if it's an extremely bad neighborhood, you could do a metal detector in between these two doors that you have to walk through. That would alert to any sort of metal that was on your person, and then you would have to show it to the camera so that they know. And then there's no way of getting through that second door. If you can't get through the second door, you can't get to the kids.
You can't get to the school.
Okay, nobody dies. Meanwhile, you're now locked inside.
That's a very good idea. And that gives the security and the police to come around and get there, and only the police will, confront this person.
Right.
Nobody else will.
But at the same time, not just confront them. You're going to confront someone who already knows they're defeated.
Right.
They're stuck already in a prison. That the prison is between the first door that they got in and the second door they can't get in.
And think about it. If they shoot those doors, the second doors, like my brother here was saying, that it was bulletproof, it might ricocheting it up.
Right, exactly.
Or whoever's in there.
And I mean, the truth be told, they might actually just even take their lives, which would not be a bad move because better they die than everybody else.
Than everybody else, right.
And then as far as the windows go, I mean, obviously, windows are another soft entry point. So, what you do is and granted, I give you the idea that, I give into the idea, I should say, that, a window with a guard over it, might pose some sort of a danger and fire or something like that. But the guards that you can put over a window could be released from inside the room. You don't necessarily need a key for it. The same way you can release the window on a bus.
Right.
Okay, how it has that latch that you just unlatch and it opens up. Or quick release on a bicycle, if you know what I'm talking about. The quick release on a seat on a bicycle. You can take it off so you can take the seat out and put it in the seats in permanent. You can do that with these gates if you really looked around to, looked into different ways to do it. So in reality, talking about, do you have something to say?
Oh yeah, like another idea that you brought up too is that now when that person is in that corridor there, you know how like you say you have like a gate coming down?
Yeah,
like the guard behind the wall there, the door, sees this, hits a button, a gate comes down, locks that person in.
Right.
Locks that person in. See?
Right. And now that person's contained. There is no more danger. Period. End of story. You can have them, you could have a little slot, in the first door where you can, slide your weapons out before or you leave them there. Leave them there to starve. Who cares? But that's not the point, really. But what I'm saying is,
that person will be held.
Having a guard at these, and don't get me wrong, okay, because having a guard rather than having nothing is obviously a great movement.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. But you're putting the guard now in danger.
Sure.
You're putting the pressure of him having to, save hundreds of people when it's unnecessary. He would be better off.
Right.
Okay.
No, and like you say, they could be sitting there, and this person could shoot from a distance.
Right, and just take him out now.
You heard of snipers? There you go.
Where instead, everything. If you want to use a guard to control these remote doors, to where they're inside safely. They have cameras looking outside the school,
right,
in the corridor we're speaking of, and they control
and
the
they
buzzer.
Right,
they control the buzzer to both doors.
Right.
So you're not getting in that second door.
Right.
Under any circumstance, unless you got dynamite, you're going to blow the door apart. But at that point, I think you're probably going to blow up with it anyway.
That guard could see that person coming up to the doors, and they could see the armor that they're carrying.
Right, you're not going to set off a grenade or something in that little corridor area because you're going to get the shrapnel yourself.
Right.
So, like, really and truthfully, worrying about having people there isn't really the answer.
No.
The answer is to strengthen the structure, not strengthen the people around there.
We have to protect our children today. It's getting out of hand.
And as I said, I give you the fact that, having someone there is better than having no one there. Granted, I'll give you that. But the truth of the matter is, unless you strengthen the structure and stop people from penetrating it, you're still going to have some sort of action that doesn't have to take place. Because, again, if you strengthen the structure, there's no reason for the action to take place in any way.
That makes sense. 2 metal doors.
Even you want to use glass, use bulletproof glass.
Bulletproof glass.
What would it cost to put a wall in there? Maybe $2,000, and it's a one-time fee.
Right.
I mean, it's
we should. This is America. We have to take care of our own first, and our kids need safety today.
Yeah, and especially
it's our future.
You know what it is? You have so many, and not for nothing, but a big part of the problem is really how many ways kids are being pulled, because on one level they're being who they are, on another level they're being told who they should be, and on another level they're not being accepted for who they are or who they should be.
Right.
Okay, so there's a lot of confusion going on. There's a lot of anger, and I kind of get that, and I'm not putting them down for it. And I truly believe there are some people who, I'm not going to say are born in the wrong body, but I'm going to say develop traits that are the wrong body. Okay, by that I mean, they develop more of a feminine lifestyle when they're masculine, or more of a masculine lifestyle when they're feminine. I don't believe that's a born thing, personally. I believe it's it's your environment. It's not an abusive factor. It's just your environment produces who you are.
That's it. Yes, we went through this already.
So, basically, what I'm saying is that the way they're pushing this, it's way beyond the odds of all of these kids having the same situation, the same issue. It doesn't make sense. Maybe, and I'm being generous here, maybe 3% of all kids all over the world would have a problem like this. And that's being generous.
Yeah.
They're pushing it to like 40 and 50% of the kids. I'm sorry, hold on one second. If this is one of those things, we'll have some fun. Hello?
This is those little calls that you get all the time. People that just want to scam you.
Yeah.
Well, you have fun with them. You have to play with their minds.
What I do is I either talk over them when they're trying to talk, or I develop some sort of scene scenario that.
Yeah, but they ask you stupid questions. You got to come up with a stupid answer.
But I tell you one thing: if I get that while we're doing this, I promise you, we'll do it here. We'll have some fun with them.
You'll hear it. It's great.
It may not always be a hit, but I'll try. Anything to be a pain in the ass to them. Anyway, okay. So listen, I think we're going to go on to another subject. I think we've killed this one as far as we can go with it.
Seriously, think about it. It's common sense.
Let's stay on the common sense trail. That's a good. I like that because
it's common sense.
So listen. Do you remember I was talking to you the other day? I was telling you about my pipeline idea.
Yes.
Okay, so this is just an idea. Again,
in California, there's always fire.
Don't give it away all at once.
Dry.
Let's build them up to it.
Go ahead.
Okay, so so here's
good idea.
So every year we have the issue with the floods and with levees.
Like in New Orleans,
right?
Louisiana area.
The water breaks the levees and that sort of thing.
Right.
And we also have the California wildfires going on constantly.
Right, because it's always dry,
or
hot.
Arizona, or
Right.
wherever there's no water.
Right. And plus, you got arsonists too, and you got people that are careless. They throw cigarettes on the ground.
And truth be told, it costs billions to the insurance industry. Billions. I mean, I'm not even kidding when I say that. Like upper bill, hundreds of billions of dollars to the insurance industry. Now, my curiosity, and again, if you guys honestly can just answer this, I'd be very happy. Put it in the comments. I'll answer you, and I'll even bring up your answer at the next show we do. But my question is this: we have an oil pipeline that, if there was a leak, and don't get me wrong, I'm all for the pipeline. I think it's the safest way to send, the safest, cheapest way to send oil across country.
Right.
Okay, but now we have an oil pipeline that, if something went wrong, there could be an ecological situation going on. There could be like a disaster area with animals, ducks, that sort of thing.
Everything.
Now, but why don't we have this with water? In other words, why don't we have like several outlets along our southern coast? Okay.
A pipeline.
Yeah, that would run a pipeline straight over to California where they need the water. Use impellers the same way a fish filter works, so to speak. Use large impellers, or you can even use the weight of the water. As the water rises, the pressure you create more pressure down low,
makes common sense.
Which would push the water with a little bit of aid. Why can't we run that water where we need it? Right. Instead of trying to lift little buckets of water with a helicopter, where only about a third of the water actually makes it to the fire. Right, because by the time
that water comes down, it's already faded. Water's already faded.
Right. Why don't we run that pipeline up to the highest mountain in California? And when something happens, just open it up and let it flood the mountains. Let it flood.
And then you won't have no wildfires.
And then even if there is no wildfire, and we send the water, let's say Louisiana is having a flood, but there's no wildfire, which is rare in California.
Right.
Then we still hit their brush with the water to keep it humid, so that it's not going to be
kinder. Nothing will happen.
It's not going to be kinder. Right. It's going to stay harder to burn.
Right. It's going to stay wet.
And we're moving water that
moist.
And we're moving water that would normally damage some point. Some cities, some states.
Now, wouldn't that make common sense, people?
To where it's necessary, to where it can be soaked in, to where it's useful.
Right. It's common sense. I mean, think about it. There'll be no fires, like you said.
Right.
And when it does break, if the levee does break, nobody's going to drag. It won't go to the people.
And we could also
live there.
Right. We could also put outlets along the way, like at different states, just in case those states have droughts or whatever. So it could be opened up there, and you could let a little water out there if necessary.
Any state that has a drought, this is where you put it to, because then you won't have no more drought.
As far as cost goes, in reality, it would be cheaper to do this, to have each state just do their own area of pipeline, and have the insurance companies pay for it once, instead of them having to deal with the houses being burnt, the houses being demolished through water.
Right, the houses swept away.
Yeah, mudslides and all of this stuff.
Right.
This can all be controlled. And I mean, you think about hospitalizations, you think about sicknesses from what's that called? Septicemia.
How many lives you save?
MRSA, you don't have to deal with the dirty water.
MRSA, that's what I was
looking for. You don't have to deal with the dirty water that
toxic.
Days.
Toxic.
That would be toxic and create flesh-eating bacteria and all of this crap.
No.
I mean, it would literally save probably hundreds of thousands of lives.
Oh, definitely.
And billions.
Also, animals' lives too.
Absolutely.
Animals.
And you're saying that, but now the reverse is true also. By sending the water up to the California area where it's drought, you're actually saving wildlife, because you're putting water where there isn't any. And the one thing you need for life is water.
Water and air.
Right.
That's what we live on, people.
So, I mean, in a lot of ways, I just think that makes sense.
I was in high school for 7 years. I'm no dummy. I got this covered, all right?
Anyway, so that's
common sense. Wouldn't it make common sense?
If you can do it with oil, I got to imagine doing it with water is a heck of a lot easier, because you don't have to be as careful. You can have leaks, and you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? What are you going to do? Wet the land?
Now,
I mean,
just think now. Oil goes all over. What happens? It kills anything on there.
Right. Exactly.
It goes in the water. Look what it does to the water. It kills the fish.
Yeah.
Kills
It covers. I mean, it literally it covers. Wildlife, like in a cocoon that they can't even breathe.
Right. But really, you think about it. We like your comments. I mean, this is
Really,
common
listen.
sense.
If you got, and the other thing is, if you think you can make the idea better, by all
Please,
means,
by all means. Well,
listen, I'm just an idea guy. I get these ridiculous ideas, but sometimes they make sense. I can't, every now and then. And
I
again,
mean,
if
really,
you
they
guys,
do make common sense. I mean, it'll help our, Earth here.
right, and if you guys can come up and like make the idea a little better, or you think that it won't work for a certain reason, hit me with it, and I'll see if I can research why maybe it would work anyway, or I'll agree with you. Hey, it didn't work.
Right.
Anyway, okay, so I think
We just give it a shot. We come up with ideas, right?
But
We come up with ideas.
my main thing about it is it's probably one of the easiest things to do in terms of just putting pipeline down. I mean, it's probably the easiest thing in the world to do, and
And helicopters full of water
right, it would
coming
save
out.
so
It's
many lives
right.
and stuff. It's just
And just
to
think
me-
about the firemen that have to go into the woods.
right.
I mean, it's a really tough fires. I mean, just what? A couple of years ago, we just had one over there.
And I mean, you're talking about the
Oh.
wildfires. You're not talking about like a building fire. You're talking about miles upon miles of fire.
That
I mean,
reaches people's homes
yeah.
after a while.
Like it's dangerous enough to go into a 5-story building that's on fire.
Never mind the woods.
Because once you get out, at least you're safe. When you get into this, you could be surrounded by this fire. In other words, you could think you're perfectly fine, and then try to get out of this circle.
And then there's fire around you. You got trees
You got to
falling.
be airlifted out.
Right.
So there's so many reasons
That this could be prevented.
Yeah, absolutely.
Common sense.
Absolutely. That's
This
just
is all
my
we
opinion,
need.
You know.
Because education and intelligence are two different things. You can have a great education, but you have no common sense.
Well, yeah, common sense and logic is really what's missing from this world.
Yep.
Honestly, that's really what's missing. When you can ask somebody, what's a woman, and they can't tell you that, that's a pretty scary point. I mean, I'm not saying that from.
Yeah.
Let's get into that for a minute. Let's change subjects one more time, but this time.
But think about that idea, people.
Yeah, please. If you got any ideas
got
that
any
you think would
ideas,
make it better,
Right.
by all means,
Let us
please.
know.
I'd love to hear them. I'm a very open-minded person like that.
Sure. We're not geniuses. We're just coming up with some ideas.
Now, I was hoping this was going to go for an hour. I don't know if that's going to happen. I think I only have like 2 or 3 more subjects I might want to pull out. I do this kind of off the cuff, so and I don't like to let Kerry know what the subjects are because I like his natural reaction.
Yeah, I'm in the background. I have no idea.
I don't really like to give him a heads up. I like to just.
I just go with the flow.
This is what we're talking about today. And he's like, okay, yeah,
that's
exactly.
it. Okay,
Anyway.
I got this.
Anyway, getting back to the subject. Okay, so the next thing I think we should go through. Let's talk a little bit about politicians in general and what my idea of political problem is happening right now. And you want to go first? You want to?
Well, right here in New York City, the DA is abusing his power.
That's true.
Going
That's
after
true.
Donald Trump for, listen, like we said a while back. If you're
Tell him about the letter. Tell him about the letter.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, yeah. There
About
was
Cohen's letter.
Yes, his lawyer, ex-lawyer, Cohen, had a letter that was, stated that
2017 he wrote
in
it.
2017 that Donald Trump did not
Reimburse him.
He took
Neither
his
did-
own money.
Right.
And
neither GOP or
Joe, right, and Stormy Daniels, too, in the letter too, said that she never collected anything from
Nothing. Not from Donald Trump.
nothing. But now that's a letter that's saying all of this. But yet we have a DA politicizing, going after a candidate to run for president because there's nothing there.
And the other thing is, if you check the actual charges, it's saying 134. It's actually more like 11. And I mean, the fact is that.
But it's very sad in our country today. Whether you like the guy or not, it doesn't matter.
It
It's
could be
very
you, it could be me, it could be anybody.
in our country today.
Right.
Very sad because he's running for president again. Meanwhile, this man turned down so many felonies that people friggin' robbed, raped.
Yep.
But that's okay. So let's
There's a
go
guy
after
killed.
someone.
There's a guy that he let out in 5 months that killed people.
There you go.
And there's another one right now that he's actually trying to get out. That's also a murderer. I can't remember the name offhand. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I had to burp. I just ate a few minutes ago. Anyway,
It's a very sad day in this country when something like that happens, when they have to use their, power, abuse of power to go after something that's not even there.
it's political persecution. But besides that, okay. So now my problem with politics in general right now is it's an all or nothing type situation. When we were growing up, they kind of met somewhere in the middle. It was like
It was 50-50.
We'll give, you give,
Right.
everything. Now everything has got to be all or nothing. It's got to be like
gotta
all the police have to be gone. They all got to be gone. You can't have some police in.
Right.
It's all or nothing. It's
And if you don't believe what they believe in, you're a bad person.
a great example is the electric and gas. I mean,
Oh, geez.
look. Here's the deal. Okay, think of
We need both.
right. Let's assume. Okay, let's assume for 1 second.
And don't assume.
No, I have to assume, even though it's going to make an ass out
Hey,
of
you and me.
But let's assume for 1 minute, okay, that they perfected this whole solar, organism, whatever. They no longer need gas. There's absolutely no need for gas.
That's
None
a good one.
whatsoever.
Only gas.
And everybody's perfectly happy. Understand what I'm saying? Everybody's perfectly happy with their solution for not using gas.
The only
So
gas
we're
we don't
cooking-
need is coming out of you.
Yeah. So we're cooking as well as we did with gas. We're driving cars as well as we did with gas. Everything that we did with gas is now perfectly taken over by electricity. Let's assume that, okay? Even at that point, why would you dismantle? Yeah, that's right.
Yes, this man.
Why would you dismantle the gas
Oh, excuse me.
supply system? Because think of it like this: even in a perfect world, and we definitely don't live in a perfect world.
Hell no.
Even in a perfect world, you might end up needing that
Gas.
other source. Look at Texas. Look at what happened with Texas with the bad weather. They
Right,
were
you
off
lose
the
your
grid.
power.
They were off the grid, and they weren't expecting a cold front. It came in.
Yes, that's right.
They got hit
That's
with.
right.
People died, and they died because they couldn't get themselves back onto the grid,
Right.
onto the electric grid.
Because they lost the
So
power.
it wasn't a choice of gas or electric. This was
They had-
electric or electric.
Right. They only have one choice.
So why now? My question is why? Okay, so why can't you switch to solar, and still leave that electric situation that you originally had
Right.
in place, in working order, just in case that snowstorm ever comes and you can't get
Right.
solar.
Hey, listen, Mother Nature's funny. You never know.
You flip a switch,
Right.
and at least you know you have power.
Right.
And if you only have to use it for a month, okay, the environment is not going to die because you used the gas for 1 month. Okay, you've now saved it by
Right.
using the electricity all of these
But you
years or
see,
whatever.
They had one choice, and that one choice hurt them really big time.
But the whole issue is, like, why would you want only one choice? It's like saying, do you want a choice of just having the money in your pocket, or do you want to have money in the bank too?
Yeah, you gotta have
Think of it
both.
like that.
That's right.
The money in your pocket is the solar, okay? When that runs out, you got nothing. The money in the
Right.
bank is the gas.
There's the gas. That
And when
keeps
you
it
run
going.
out, right? When you run out of the money in your pocket, you go to the bank and you get gas. Get what I'm saying? It just
Very simple. But they don't make it simple. They want to make it hard for everybody.
life. It's funny because to my estimation, what my grandmother would say, and you're gonna hear me quote my grandmother a lot. My grandmother was like the most amazing person. Some of you, maybe if you're on my friends list and stuff, you knew
And
her.
I'm going to vouch for that because our grandmothers, really.
That was Rosie. Rosie was phenomenal. I loved your grandma. Anyway, I used
That's
to deliver
right.
to
Little
his
Mary
grandmother.
McCabe.
Yeah, I
God
used
bless
to-
her soul.
I used to actually deliver to her house. I worked for a butcher.
We had the two best
Shop.
grandmothers you could ever ask for.
But my grandmother was like this tough lady, and she had a bunch of philosophy that she would throw out, And
All good, too.
yeah. So you're gonna hear me quote her a lot.
All good.
And
Live and learn. You got to live and learn.
well, anyway, she was the type of person who believed in being prepared, and
Yes, they were always prepared. You're damn right.
and that's kind of what we're missing today. What we want to do now is we only want our way, and we don't want to hear that there's a second way that we might have to have, just because the first way
Right.
might not always work. Now the gas and the electric thing is something that's perplexed me for a long time because I can't understand why you wouldn't want that extra little bit of
Sure.
security to know that come wintertime, if something goes wrong with one, you got another one running
You got
there.
another backup. You got to have a backup.
To me, it just makes like a load of sense. I mean,
A lot of sense. Common sense again, people. Here we
Right.
are. You got to have common sense to get by in this world. Believe me.
yeah. Unfortunately, that's what's missing. Again, my grandmother would say it's not common sense isn't as common as it used to be.
Oh, no.
Um,
The common is gone.
her favorite phrase was "Show me your friends, and I'll tell you who you are." which again, I put that out there to everybody to try to listen to that because
The
it
comment
makes so
is
much sense.
gone, man. You kidding in this world? Oh
Anyway.
my god.
Okay, so let's jump on to another subject. Okay, so let's see what we went through so far. We did the transgender school shooting. We did the pipeline. We did the.
Right.
Okay, you know what? Let's talk a little bit about Trump, I guess. Okay, so let's get to DA
Very
Bragg
sad.
and,
Yeah,
and
very
Trump.
sad. Very sad
Um,
that these people can get away with this, but it's not gonna last because already look, if you saw it today, was it today? You saw it today?
Yeah.
No
They're already
case.
talking about something else. I forget
Yeah.
what it was. Oh, the Taiwanese
Oh, yeah.
president coming here. That's in the news now.
Oh yeah, she's not allowed to come here.
Yeah, no, the same way. Well, look when Nancy Pelosi went over to there. I mean, you know, when
Right, that's
they
right.
made a big thing over that too.
Right, that's China.
China's
They're
looking.
trying to run the world here.
Well, no, what they're trying to do, and it's funny. They're trying to. Okay, let's go. Let's throw everything to the wind now. Let's go coronavirus here. So initially, go back. Let's go back 4 years on this one. This is gonna be fun. So let's go back 4 years. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, Donald Trump was creating an economy that was beyond belief. Okay, before Trump was elected president, the projection of China was that they were going to be the world power in terms of finance in 10 years.
Right.
So that would have been 26. That would have been 2026. They would have taken over by 2026. Donald Trump went into office and he popped our energy up like 1,000%.
Jobs better.
Yeah, he made us energy dominant. He made a look at what the stock market is. The stock market was hitting record heights month after month
our country
after month.
number one.
Right. So, and then the other thing he did by doing that was, he made China poorer. Okay. So now let's push forward to now when coronavirus comes out. So coronavirus actually came out in 2019. Actually, that was the first.
2019.
It was like
That's right.
November or September, November,
December,
something like
November.
that.
Right.
I think it was
They say
early
November.
and that it first popped up in the Wuhan area. And what they did was they stopped people from coming in, but they were letting people leave China.
To go to other countries.
Right. And and here's the deal, okay? China, I'm not saying that they did this on purpose, but they used the situation to the best of their abilities to screw our economy up. So that's basically what happened.
And that's what happened, definitely.
And they did it. They did a really great job of it, by the way. In the process.
Because Trump was going number one.
Yeah, well.
And this is what he does.
Yeah, and they knew we were going to have to come up with. First off, they don't really care about their people, and majority of your countries today don't care about their people. The United States does. So they knew the one thing that the United States was going to do was outpour money like there was no tomorrow. We were going to hemorrhage funds.
And literally. We did.
And we did.
To save lives.
Right, exactly. We were going to make ventilators. We were going to bring ships. We were going to. I mean, it was going to be insane.
Right.
Then on top of that, they also knew we were going to help.
And we did. He did bring in ships and he did bring in ventilators. He got everything.
The other thing they counted on was that we were going to help other countries. So that was going to deplete our economy as well, just like Ukraine is doing right now to us.
Right. Yes, they're bleeding us dry.
Yeah, Ukraine is another deal altogether.
That's another situation.
Yeah. Biden does not want that to end. Okay, Biden wants that to continue in perpetuity. Anyway, okay, so getting back to this, to China.
The more money you throw into it, it's not helping much.
So I'm not telling you that China purposely put this out in order to create this, but there's a phrase, I forget what senator said it, but it said, "Never let a disaster go to waste," and that's what they did.
Okay,
that's what they did. They took something that was in natural motion already,
right, and they just let it go.
They let it go and pushed it a little bit. Pushed a little bit.
Word,
right. Give it a little bit of a shove and said, okay. So that's basically what went on there.
What they did was travesty. It was horrific.
And in the process, even now, if you check, they're trying to do away with our whole financial system. Okay, they don't want to accept our cash anymore. They don't want to accept our currency any longer. There's like 4
or 5 countries.
Five countries. Yeah, right. I think it spells out BRICS, if I remember right. BRICS.
That's not good for our country.
The C is China. The I might be Indonesia or India.
India. Oh, probably. India. Yes.
Probably India.
India.
The S, I think, is Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia, and there was
the B. I'm not really sure what the B is. I can't remember it offhand. Listen, maybe Britain. I don't know if Britain would do that.
No.
You
I'm
know,
not sure either, but
I don't
know
remember what the
but
B
they're all
is. I'm
4 or
sorry.
5.
Right,
But they're
but
all
I
4
got
or 5.
I got 4 out of 5. I mean, that's not bad.
That won't take.
Oh, Russia was the R, by
Russia.
the way, bricks.
Russia.
So it's we got the RICS. Okay, so and what they're doing is they're all conforming together, and they're doing away with our currency for the yuan.
Right.
Okay, which is China's currency.
So that's going to hurt us.
So yeah, well, that's going to kill us. That's going to destroy us, really. Especially especially if with the amount of debt that we have to China,
right?
To China specifically. I mean,
Where we up with China? We're up to like what?
Billions. I mean, like
Billions, trillions.
And if they turn around and ask us for that back in yuan, we're screwed. We're just screwed. Anyway,
we're living in a third world country, people.
Yeah. So anyway,
that's how we're living. So thank you, Joe.
Yeah, isn't he the best? Wasn't that a wonderful choice?
Thank you, Joe. I like
81 million votes. Yeah.
People that voted for him. Whatever you're smoking, give me some, because mine must not be good.
Smoking, you got to be shooting that shit up.
Fucking crack.
Anyway,
everything.
Yeah, you got to be shooting that up, man. That's
shit.
Smoking. You ain't even gonna smoke your way into that.
Hell no. You're drinking and everything. Whatever you're drinking.
Okay, so now let's get into the next segment. What is that? This is about a half hour, right? Yeah, we just did a half hour. That's pretty nice. Okay, so now you know what we're gonna do. Let's talk a little bit about some old time shows, some old time TV shows. I want to get into one specific that's my favorite. Kerry, what's my favorite?
One of our favorites.
What's the favorite?
All time.
Go ahead.
The Rifleman.
The Rifleman. Okay.
Chuck Connors, baby.
Now you tell me that this isn't as eclectic as a thing can get. That we're going from Trump
you have
to
to watch
the Rifleman.
this show. You have to watch this show. Great show. You want to talk? You watch Batman. You see Batman? This is Batman without all the gadgets.
Yeah. No, this guy is just like unbelievable. Okay, first off, his name is Lucas McCain. Okay, he's played by a guy named Chuck Connors.
Chuck Connors.
Chuck Connors.
In the 18th century, New Mexico.
Yeah, like 1866, somewhere around there. But let me just go into a little bit about who Chuck Connors was. Chuck Connors was an amazing athlete. Okay, he was a phenomenal athlete.
Oh, he was a football player, right?
Basketball. I think he played.
He played baseball.
I think he played baseball, basketball, and football. To be honest with you, college.
Okay, right.
I could be off on one of them. Again, I'm not a
right. But he did play sports.
He was a huge sports guy. He was like 6'7",
yeah. Right. 200 something pounds.
I'm not sure about the weight, but he was like on a thinner side for that size.
Right. He's thin.
But so the Rifleman is about this guy who was
living on a ranch with his son.
Well, anyway, he loses his wife. He was in like the Civil War. He lost his wife, and they decide to move to this place called Norfolk.
Norfolk, Virginia.
And anyway, so it's him and his son, and it's just like the most incredible show. It translates so well, and I highly recommend everybody out there to watch this. But there's some things that, like, with all of these shows, I kind of get kicks out of watching them then and now.
Oh, yeah.
Because,
funny.
Like, to give you an example, let's just jump subjects a minute to Leave It to Beaver, okay? So I'm watching Leave It to Beaver one day, and they're having a barbecue, and out of nowhere, Ward turns around and yells to Wally, "Hey, Wally, do me a favor, bring me over that asbestos oven mitt, will you?" And I'm sitting there, I'm going, asbestos oven mitt? Really? Are you serious about this? There's also, the reason I bring that up is there's also an episode where this gentleman wants Lucas to buy a lightning rod, and he shows him a model house that the roof won't go on fire. So Lucas asks him, well, why didn't the roof go on fire? So he goes, well, it's not because of the lightning bolt, it's because it's made of asbestos. So Lucas says, well, why would I buy the lightning bolt when I could just do my whole roof in asbestos, So just kind of like stuff like that,
And what's good about this show, too, is that if you see some of the characters that are in this show.
Oh, yeah, this is phenomenal.
You could have one guy. He could play 8 characters.
Oh, easily.
In different shows, of course.
Literally every episode.
But it's the same guy playing different characters.
And yet you still buy it every single time.
These people are just, it's phenomenal, the actors back then.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. You're also going to see some really famous actors in there that you probably,
I
mean, a lot of you wouldn't know unless you're over the age of like 45 and stuff. But you'll see like Buddy Hackett in there.
Buddy Hackett was in it?
You'll see like Lee Van Cleef. You'll see, I'm trying to think of who else.
What was that guy's name? I was just in it the other day. Remember when he shows up?
Oh, there's a ton of them. I mean,
I know he wants to die like
Chet Atkins is in there.
Okay. Can't think of their names, but
I'm trying to think of some of them.
And some of these people are in shows today.
Yeah.
Some of them are still alive. Like, hey, Or even the old shows, like one guy like in
They'll definitely
honeymoon,
recognize
in
him.
the honeymooners, like Harvey.
Yeah,
You know when he goes.
yeah. He's in it. Yeah, that's right.
Excuse me, that
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
That guy was
Harvey's
in
a funny
it,
name,
right?
yeah.
Harvey. But
But-
he's in it, and then when you see him down the line, you're like, oh wow. But
But
you
what's-
get these characters, and one guy could play 8 characters.
Yeah,
man.
easily,
It's unbelievable.
Seriously,
Unbelievable.
easily.
Great show. You gotta watch it.
There's literally 2 guys on the show that are in every single episode, and in
Yes.
every episode they play somebody different.
Yep.
And for some reason, you just buy it. It's just there.
Oh, because they're such great actors.
Um,
Actresses, they know how to do it.
And what's really cool about it is actually the relationship between Lucas and his son Mark, because like,
Oh, that's funny.
you know, we see how parents treat their kids today, and he's so honest with this kid. Like, Lucas is going literally to get killed. I'm not kidding with you. Like, there's 3 or 4 gunmen who want to kill him.
You're cutting him down,
And he's
right?
gonna go in front of 3 or 4, and you know he's got a special rifle that he shoots, and he's really good with
Oh,
it. And
this
all
is a
this.
great rifle.
But
you gotta check this out.
He's gonna go in front of 4 gunmen, and he turns around to a guy he's never met, and he goes, "Listen, you take care of my son." You know, it's like, I mean, he's never met this guy.
This
but
man's been beat. He's
you
been
make
shot
sure.
at.
You make sure you take care of my son, okay? And like the guy goes, "Don't worry, I'll take care of him." And Lucas is like, "Okay, you know." It's,
That's it
I-
back then.
in
Now,
the 1800s, people just took you at your word, man. I
yeah,
don't-
today, no. Not today.
Ah.
But really, watch that show. It's a good little show. Okay? As a matter of fact, it's on 3 o'clock, Monday through Friday, on Me TV.
Right.
3 o'clock, 3 to 4.
Gary, hit him with a couple of jokes while we're here.
You know?
Just go slow because it'll go right by them if you go too fast. Go slow.
Well, listen, I was in the. You ever go to the bank, man? I'll tell you, these guys, they don't have a lot of tellers anymore. Well, the other day I was in the bank, and it was kind of slow. So this old man came up to me and asked me to help him check his balance. So I fucking pushed him.
Oh God.
You know? And also, listen, I work with a lot of people, and a lot of people think they're psychics. They can read your mind. I went to a psychic the other day. I knocked on her door. She said, "Who is you?" Get the fuck. I left.
Hey, she don't know.
You're supposed to know who I am. Come on, people.
Well,
I don't trust psychics. All right. You know.
all right. So listen, we're at 41, almost 40 minutes.
Almost 40. Wow.
I think we're gonna calm it down. We're gonna let it go. We'll do another show probably what's today? Today's Wednesday. We'll do another show Friday. I'm trying to figure out how to do a live. If anybody knows, I know how to get on YouTube Live. I get
Yeah,
that.
if you could give us some advice, please.
What I don't know is how to do the Zoom type of thing where he can be in one place, I can be in another, and we can both be up on the screen and then do clips. I would really like to be able to do that. If anyone knows how to do that, or you can help me out, like with some
Yeah,
advice,
please give
on
us
it,
some advice.
please, and also just get in touch with us for the hell of it. We're actually very friendly people. If you got any questions, you got any comments, you think you can help
Yes,
us
please.
out in terms of making the show better,
Right.
we really love doing this. I got to be honest. This is a whole lot of fun for us.
We're enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it at home
And
too.
the other thing is, if your politics are different than mine, and
That's fine.
don't take it personal. Anything I say,
No, nothing
you're
personal.
welcome. Listen, if I can figure out a way to get you up on here, you're more than welcome to come on in and
And give us your
Give me a
comments. Yes.
just please, just keep it to comments and let's not get personal because, politics
You don't want me to
isn't
get
a
home.
personal thing. It's not a personal thing.
No, it's not.
It's just the way the government should be run. That's all it is. It's not about me disliking you or you disliking me. It's just the way we both think government should run. And, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It shows we're both concerned about stuff.
Sure. This is
Anyway.
our country we live in. It's a beautiful country to live in. Come on. Land of the free, people. Come on.
Home of the brave.
There you go. I mean, come on. Where else can you have your freedom and do stuff like this?
There's no better country. There's
There
no
isn't.
better country.
It's the people that's here that are destroying this country.
Yeah, and
Like
anyone
this
anyone
country
who
alone,
argues that,
right.
you want to argue it. Just before you do that,
Go live
you've got,
somewhere
wait,
else.
no. I wasn't even going to do that because that's antagonistic. I'm not going there. I'm going to say before you argue that with me, you show me one other country that people are trying to get into. Show me one
I
other
was just about
country
to say,
that
right.
people are trying to get into the way they're trying to get into this.
Everybody's trying to come here.
They're not trying to get into jails. Okay, they're not trying to get into hospitals. They're trying to get into
our country.
paradise,
Right.
which in reality is what our country is.
Right.
What should
Land
be.
of the free. Dream. Make your dream come true.
Right. It's all up to you. If you're unhappy in this country, it's not the country. It's you.
It's you. It's not the
It's
country.
you. I mean,
Because in this country alone, like my man here just said, you could have You got your freedom, home of the brave.
Yeah,
You could do your dreams.
Yeah,
Any
no,
dream you want to do,
you can turn around. You can turn around and say, well, you don't understand. But I'm telling you, I've been there,
We've been
and
there.
I've been back, and I've been there, and I've been back again.
I think I went around a couple of times.
Yeah, and I'm telling you that whatever goes on in this country is your choice.
That's right.
And if you need help, there are people that can help you. If you need, people will listen. People will listen to you. This is the only country where you can actually say what you want to say. Like you might have these problems on a lot of levels with a lot of different things, but in another country you wouldn't even be able to express that.
You can't even say a word.
Okay, so
and if you do open your mouth, you might be put in jail or death.
Stoned. I mean,
stoned.
And I don't mean in a good way.
No, yeah, not like right now. Not like right now. Okay?
Yeah, I think it's time for us to light up. So
all right, people,
we're gonna jet off of here. And
enjoy the rest of the day.
Take a look at this. Let me know what you think.
And we'll see you on Friday.
If you don't mind, hit a like. It's up to you if you want to hit a like or not. I would appreciate it. But if not, don't sweat it.
And be safe out there.
I really would like comments because I like to get feedback on what you think of this. And
and it doesn't matter.
And it doesn't have to be good either. I mean, I learned. You know what they say? You learn more from your mistakes than you ever will your successes.
There you go.
So
that's right. You got to learn from your mistakes.
Failures.
Ask questions. That's how we learn. When you don't ask questions, you don't learn from your mistakes. You're gonna keep making mistakes.
Anyway, we tried to make it the hour. We made 41 minutes, which is pretty damn decent when you think that we don't prepare any of this shit.
Yeah, really.
So
we'll really appreciate it because, like I said, we don't get this at home. Nobody listens.
This is us actually getting somebody to hear us. Okay. Anyway, have a great day, guys.
Enjoy, people. Be safe.
Later.